Hey guys, I know it's been a few weeks since I've made any videos, and I apologize for that. I know you're just so antsy to view them, huh? Anyways, life happens. I've been busy with work, and believe it or not, for the first time since my accident, 9 and some change years ago, I got a girlfriend. Lasted for 5 days, go figure. This is too much too quick. I don't want to get into it, but it just didn't work out. I mean, it was only lasted for 5 days. What do you expect, right? so so that's kind of, I've just been busy, and I haven't really been in the mood to make these videos. And believe it or not, like these videos are therapy for me in a way, because it's a way for me to talk about things. Cause I don't know if you remember back in one of my videos, I recommended that if you do go through this kind of injury, that I recommended you get a therapist so you can just talk it out with somebody, and always have someone to talk to, and it really helps. And this kind of is a way for me to do that. Finally, I waited 9 years to do it, right? But so I'm back, and I know you miss me. I miss you too. So I know in my last video, I left you with the picture collage of this whole process, healing process that I've gone through. And I just wanted to point out, maybe I'm toot my horn a little bit, but whatever, I think I deserved it a little bit. So remember, I hope you remember, this was me in the hospital bed. And just to refresh your memory, because me of all people, I know how bad memories can be, right? So I have in this picture both shoulders crushed in. See the caster on my arm? The right side of my face crushed in. And my teeth are knocked out, but you can't tell because I got got so much crap on my face. And the doctors actually, they waited to perform any surgeries on me and start to put me back together until they knew that I was going to survive. Because keep in mind, they were ready to pull the plug. They told my mom, no, he's not going to make it. And she said, no, not my Michael, he's going to do this. And she was right. So they hadn't even done anything yet to repair me, put me back together. So finally they did. After I survived, I just one day at a time, I just started getting better and better. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen this before. So that's me in the hospital bed, and I'm going to show you. So skip ahead, that was 9+ years ago. And then you got me right here, and I'm in a hospital bed about to die. And here, kid's got some muscle, right? Not looking too shabby. And then this one's even better, alright? And this is with my unfortunately dead grandmother, rest in peace. She was 91 years old, I believe, 91, 92. And this woman, when I was in the hospital, here, I'll show you a picture. Sweet old lady. And me, I was probably in the best shape of my life right here. Like, I was freaking jacked. For me, anyways. Okay, I know there's other people that are in much better shape, but whatever. They weren't laying in a hospital bed previously. But anyways, my grandma was so sweet, bless her heart. She was, when I was in that hospital bed, she was bringing me Frosties every day. Who does that? A loving woman. That's who. Freaking saint. So that's, I went to do a little recap. Sorry, I just kind of like showing this off. So me in the hospital bed, near death. Yes, that's me. For those who are seeing these videos and be like, there's no way this guy went through this. He seems fine. Whatever. Alright, that is me. I swear to God. Okay? And then you got me here, not looking too shabby, and here, standing outside of my new car at the time, who was a present from my mother. Bless her heart too. So that's what I left you with, was the picture collage, and you went from the hospital bed to that, looking good. And then also I want to tell you, in a lot of my past videos, I have tried to make them somewhat short and viewable, maybe 5-6 minutes, because who wants to sit around on their phone or their computer or whatever and watch 20 minutes or 30 minutes plus of somebody talking about brain injuries or whatever? I mean, it's boring, right? So I try to keep it short and sweet, get in, get out, okay? And so, but now I'm going to kind of try and change that up a little bit. I'm going to be a little more personable. I'm going to let you know really what's going on in my head, in my life. And at the same time, when I do that to you, that's not me complaining. I'm not a complainer. I never have been. That's why it's kind of tough for me to make these videos, because I don't want to come off like a little Debbie Downer. That's just not me. I could care less. I just want to go on, live my life, and just do whatever, right? Have some fun and have a couple laughs. But that being said, that's what I'm going to start doing from now on. So you're probably going to get sick of this face. Sorry. I hope you don't. God, I hope you don't. Because, I mean, my mom says I have a beautiful face. Anyways, so I left you with the picture collage. And so let's recap a little bit. So at this point, I'm out of the hospital. I'm back living at my uncle's, and I'm slowly recovering, very slowly, but at the same time very faster than anybody that's ever gone through this, that I know of anyways. And I'm just, so I'm back living at my uncle's. Fortunately, I'm going to therapy 3+ times a week. It was really like school all over again, honestly. Like, I had to go to FSU for these cognitive therapies 3 times a week, and at first it was kind of cool. It's like, all right, I'm learning stuff. But then I did 2 semesters of this, and I'm like, all right, cool. I've done 2 semesters. It's time for me to move on. I've learned what I need to. And they're like, nope. So I ended up doing this for like a year and a half, 5 semesters altogether, before I finally got them to just say, you know what, he's good to go. And at the same time, I hadn't had my driver's license this whole time. So I've got my mom, remember I'm 26, 27 years old at this time, grown man, has my mom driving me around to do whatever. What kind of man does that, right? So anyways, I could not get my license until, this makes no sense to me, but this is what it was, I couldn't get my license again until I completed this therapy at FSU. Why? I have no idea. My mom probably knows, but it just makes no freaking sense to me. Which none of this made any sense, honestly. But you got a guy who wasn't driving in a car accident, wasn't drunk, and he got the worst injuries out of the 2 people in the vehicle, and he lost his driver's license, but the one driving didn't lose his driver's license. How much freaking sense does that make? Not a goddamn bit. Alright, so like I said, I'm very used to things not making sense. So anyways, I back to completing the therapy finally. FSU, it just kind of was meant to be that this happened in Tallahassee, and the surgeon happened to be working in that city at the time that put my face back together, Dr. Lee and Dr. Hutchinson. They did a great freaking job. Yeah, I could probably look a little bit better, but come on. No, I'm kidding. I look great. Anyways, so let me get back on track here. I was talking myself up a little bit. Anyways, so I finished the therapy, and I get the go ahead to get my to do a behind the wheel course for myself in Gainesville. And so, what do you know? Back to a grown man being driven around by his mother at 27 years old. We go to Gainesville. Only took 2 nights, or well, I stayed the night, but we went down there one night, spent the night. Next day, I went to the driving place. She was real nice. They took me for a little spin behind the wheel. She let me get behind the wheel. All I did was drive around a couple rural roads, I guess you want to call them, neighborhoods. Then she put me on the interstate. And I'm not going to lie, the interstate was a little nerve-wracking at first, like a 5 seconds, like, whoa. But then I was like, this ain't nothing. So I just got on the interstate, drove a couple exits, got back off. And at this point, the driving instructor was like, this guy's fine. What? You got a traumatic brain injury? Really? Like, what? You're good to go. So I was like, sweet. Within a few days later, got the written consent. I can drive again. Holy crap. This boy's back on the road. So this kind of started the whole road to independence that I've been trying for, and I'm still working on that, honestly, but not quite as bad. So, keep in mind, I'm living at my uncle's. My mom's living with me. She's driving me around to wherever I gotta go because I can't drive. So I get my driver's license back, and this kind of helps my mom realize that maybe I don't quite need her around as much. I mean, I love her, don't get me wrong, but who wants to have their mom around that much at age 27, So, like I said, nothing personal against my mom, but it's just one of those things where, in my situation where you're trying to become independent again, you don't need your mom holding your hand for everything. So this kind of started the chain of her moving out and me moving out also. Because once again, I'm 27 years old, living at my uncle's, got my mom driving me around to go wherever I got to do, blah, blah. So I'm on this whole road to independence thing. And so that started that whole chain of events. And let me back up a little bit. So when I'm living at my uncle's, nothing against my uncle, he's awesome, I love him too, but this kind of fueled the fire for me to get the hell out of there. He had this guy, I don't know if he had some kind of ailment too or whatever, but he had this guy move in with him. He didn't work, he didn't do anything, just bugged the ever-living out of me, and did not carry his weight, didn't bring anything to the table. Just a waste of life. So I'm like, what, this guy is just getting in my way. And at the time, for me to do as much as I could, I would cut my uncle's grass for him. This sounds stupid, I know, but I would cut his grass for him, which I know he appreciated because I know he didn't want to do it. And then this guy started to kind of try and pull his weight a little bit, so he started cutting the grass. I'm like, what the hell? What? Carry your ass somewhere. This is my thing. So anyways, after a while, I get sick of this. I'm like, all right, man, this is not gonna cut it. And keep in mind, I've got the whole traumatic brain injury temper going on. I got the temper that I had before this accident going on. So I'm just not a happy camper, all right? And And this gave me more reason to just stay locked up in my bedroom. The bat cave is what my mom calls it. Don't ask me why, but anyways, I just stayed in my room, watched TV. Only time I get out is to make some food or go to the gym. So, anyways, back to him. I moved out before him. But so finally, right down the road from my uncle's house in a neighborhood called Southwood, my mom found a townhouse through the paper, or not a townhouse, a studio apartment, which now that I look back on it, is like, who wants to be in a studio apartment? But it was perfect for me at the time. You know, it had a kitchen, a bathroom, shower, a bed. That's all I needed. So we find this great deal. It was a nice looking place. So, and of course, my landlord, if you want to call him that, his name was Chris Rowe. Great freaking guy. So nice. So they decided to let me move in. And of course, you know, we explained my story, and I took it upon myself to, just in case they kind of thought I was full of crap. The first time we went over there for me to see the place and to meet the guy, I brought these official documents stating that I had these injuries and went through all this crap, just so he knew I wasn't full of it. So, and I thought it was a good idea. My mom even thought it was a good idea. And so he was like, you know what, we can do this. And not that money's all that important or anything, but $825 a month to live in this place. He let me use his pool passes to go to the pool. I mean, it was just a perfect setup for me. So, and he was awesome enough to drop the price down for me as time went on. Started at $825 a month and dropped it down to $750 eventually. And keep in mind, at this point, I've got Social Security money that was coming in for a little bit, and that was awesome, by the way. And then apparently I started making too much money, and they pulled the plug on me. And so Chris knew this, and I was just really struggling for money at the time. So he was like, you know, I'll drop the rent for you because we just want to keep you here. Because they had some income coming in from a nice guy, and I didn't ever get in the way. So, I mean, it was a perfect setup for him, too. So, you can't really beat that situation. And then, you know, I moved in there, I believe it was 2013 or 2014. And it was great. You know, I had to move out of my uncle's, but it was only right down the street. I was in the same neighborhood, so everything was still a little familiar. And if you remember, for those fellow TBI survivors or people that are about to go through this, you don't want to change your routine, and I'm the same way. Everything works the way it works, and I don't want to change it. I'm still to this day like that. You know, if something's working, don't change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? That's a saying that I live my life by. So, and like I said, if something changes, I just don't like it, no matter what it is. It may turn out to be better in the long run, but at first I'm like, nah, screw this. Let's go back to how it used to be. It worked fine that way. Anyways, so where was that? So I'm living in this place, great studio apartment. I finally, for the first time in my life, I lived on my own. Yes, I've moved out on my own, other than under my mom's house to live with other people, but never on my own. So this is me on my own, TBI survivor, doing my thing. So I'm working at Gold's Gym. Finally have this great studio apartment. Things are starting to look up pretty good for me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you there, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible, and I promise I will not leave you hanging like I just did recently, okay? See you guys. Oh, and if you have any questions or comments, and please, and that's another thing, I kind of go off of questions or comments by making this video. Like, that's the way I make these videos, and that would really help me out. Help me help you, as they would say. So please drop a question, drop a comment, let me know what you really want to know, and that will kind of give me something to think about and talk about in these videos. If you got a question, please let me know, okay? Alright, I'll see you guys later.